Hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is for anyone who is stuck in a preparation mode. When you want to start speaking and using your language, your target language, or you want to start practicing more often, finally joining a class or find a language exchange partner, but instead you just keep waiting to feel ready. I've lived it, and today I want to talk to you about a concept that helped me get unstuck. It's called the fresh start effect, and specifically how to use it to focus on movement instead of waiting for perfection. Because truthfully, starting messy is one of the most powerful things you can do. Welcome back to another episode of Foreign Language Roadmap, where we make language learning simple, fun, and part of your daily life. I am Elena Aber, the creator and the host of this podcast, and I'm very happy that you're here with me today. Today, I'm taking you back to when I was learning English. When I moved to the US, I did not speak English almost at all. I could say a couple of phrases, that's it. And for comfort and for safety zone, I was hanging out mostly with people who spoke my native language, which is Russian. In fact, most of the people were either born or lived in the US for a really long time by that point, and most of them used to tell me that I just needed to start speaking and that I will pick it up super quickly once I start. But I was really hesitating. I didn't believe them because in my head, I thought that I need to be good before I speak. I need to sound fluent. I need to be nearly perfect before I even start to try to communicate with people. So I kept waiting. I kept studying. I kept practicing in my head. I prepared. And as you might guess, that took me years to actually feel comfortable speaking English. Not because I couldn't do it, but because I was afraid to do it wrong. What finally changed? I started speaking out loud with real people. Of course, it was messy. I made mistakes. I sounded silly, but I kept going. I had no choice, obviously. I was already living there. And every time that I messed up, I learned something. I felt that this was good. I was learning. And that is what built momentum. That's what made the difference. Now, English is the main language of my life. I've used that mindset shift to learn Italian, French, Spanish, and now I'm working on German. So if you're stuck in perfection paralysis, I want to help you take that leap. Here's the thing. We often spend way too long trying to prepare, organizing the perfect study plan, collecting the perfect materials, waiting to feel confident and comfortable, waiting to wait for some time, for extra time to magically show up in our lives that we can finally give to language learning. But the truth that all of that, and especially confidence, doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence and the time and the motivation and perfect materials, perfect study plan, it all follows after you start taking the first step. If you're constantly waiting to feel ready before you do something, you may never start, honestly. And that perfect sentence that you are trying to rehearse in your head before you even say anything, it's not doing anything until you actually say it out loud to actual real people. And this is not just my observation. There is also science behind this. The fresh start effect. And it shows that we are more motivated to start new habits after some fresh moments. I feel like on Mondays, after a birthday, a new week, a new year, a new month, after vacation, whatever. It gives us permission to start again, to reset, and to shift our mindset, our identity from someone who hasn't done anything to someone who just started. And that gives you permission to not be really good at it yet. And when we pair that fresh start energy with movement over expecting perfection, we really just become unstoppable. But here's the catch, and it is crucial. Motivation is sort of a spark, and sparks need fuel. And that fuel is action. If you feel motivated or interested or inspired to do something, like maybe starting a new language habit, and you don't act on it within 72 hours, that motivation fades. And it fades fast. So if you've been thinking, oh, I should start speaking more, or I want to practice, I'll do it when I'm ready, this is your sign. Don't wait. Do something, anything, and do it within 72 hours. That's 3 days. So start. Today even. Just start. So you might be wondering, like, okay, but how do I actually start? Let's talk about how to make that action feel doable, even when you're not in the mood or when you feel stuck in perfectionism. Here are a few ways to keep things light, flexible, and messy in the best way possible. First one is to create a low pressure ritual. Light a candle before you study, maybe. Or I liked a not humidifier, what is it called? The thingy that lets the essential oils go. I forgot the word, but basically the thing that would give nice smell on my desk when I would get ready to study. You can put on a cozy hoodie or cozy outfit for your speaking practice that would just make you feel comfortable. I also, by the way, have an episode on a Batman effect, which helps you tap into your alter ego by using some element of the culture or of the identity that you want, that might help you feel more confident doing something. Look out for the episode that is called Batman Effect and listen to it if you need some help feeling more comfortable when you are trying to speak. You can also use a drink, like brew a specific tea or coffee for your listening sessions, for example, or wear specific shoes for your walk when you're listening. These tiny little rituals, they are signals to your brain that it's time to shift into the language learning mode. And I mean, they don't have to be fancy. They just need to be consistent and doable. Second thing you can do is to start small and do smaller than you think that you need. Don't aim for 45 minutes of perfect grammar. Aim for one sentence, one question on a platform for language exchange or for language partners, or try to do a 130-second video in your target language. When I started speaking Italian, I would literally just say one thing to myself and later to my language partner on a voice notes every day. It felt really tiny, but it built momentum and it helped me build the confidence. A third thing to do is to use a practice tracker. This isn't a habit tracker that says, oh, did I do 100% of my plan? Did I complete all of my work? This one says things like, did I do something today? Did I speak today? Did I make a mistake today? Which is a really good thing. It's a win because at the beginning of your journey, you are expected to make a lot of mistakes. Praise yourself for it. You made a mistake, which means you've learned something. You can also put on your tracker a question, did I move forward today in any way? Did I do anything towards my goal for today? That's probably going to be messy, but it helps you track your progress, not your perfection. And that's where growth comes from. Just let yourself be a beginner over and over again if you need to be. Even if you've been learning for years, it's okay to feel like a beginner again when you try something new. If you started a new skill, you're a beginner. If you have an accent, that's fine, you're a beginner. If you have a new conversation partner, that's great. That's a beginner. That's a new beginning. Because the fresh start effect says that everything new is not a failure. It's a doorway, and you can walk through it and find something really wonderful that you might not have expected. So if you're waiting to be perfect before you start doing anything, don't. Perfection isn't the price of admission. Motion is. So if you're listening to this and thinking that, well, I'm not ready to speak, I'm not ready to do this, I'm not ready to do that, I've got news for you. You're not ready to be perfect, but you are ready to begin. Start messy, be human, be awkward, be really weird. It's all part of the journey. And I promise future you will thank you for starting today, because every time you try, you're becoming the person that can do this. Every sentence that you stumble through or every vocabulary that you messed up, it's one step closer. And here's the best part. You can start today. this hour, this minute, just now, as soon as you finish this podcast, just start. Make this your fresh start. Make this the countdown of your 72 hours now, right after this podcast. Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode gave you the little nudge that you needed, I'd love to hear what tiny, messy action that you're taking next. Share it with me on Instagram, drop me a voice message. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you need a little help getting started, I've made a free mini version of my method just for you. It's a simple, practical guide to start your language learning with less stress. And if you're serious about mastering language learning efficiently, I also create a full workbook, step by step, that based on my method that helped me learn 4 languages in the last 7 years. You can find both of the links in the description. Until next time, I will see you later.